Jay, would you care to say something? Jay worked with Mike probably most recently of anybody.
And actually,
He was before me.
it goes way back. And actually, I was thinking about it. It goes back to working with Walter. Because when I first interviewed with Walter and Delaune, forever ago, Walter said, why don't you go and take a look at one of these classes that we're doing. I was working with the Index Institute. And what he did was to park me into a class that Mike was leading. And it was this feeling of like, I've got to do this. This is just amazing. So I had the chance to represent him out in the market and talk about Michael. And then had a chance after, lots of time. When I left Index, I actually had a chance to work with Michael and the team for about almost a year. And got to know them in a whole different way with his public speaking and just what was happening. And then recently, when Mike passed, had a chance to reconnect with the team at that point and offered to come back in and kind of just reconnect with the community and get a sense of what was happening. And have since been doing that for the last 4 months now. And I have to admit, we talk about the impact that he's had on all of us. What's incredible is when you talk to his clients, the Vitas of the world. I had a great conversation just recently with a guy at Skip Kapoor at Capital One. And he said, Michael changed my life. I heard him talk and I changed my career. And I have been kind of listening and being part of his world ever since. But it's fascinating to talk to people like that. And I'm just one little side note, we've got an interesting opportunity we're chasing now at a little company called Hallmark that's interested in thinking about starting a re-engineering project. So on that note, let's just say lots of full circles. But let's just say there's lots of folks out there in the world who pay attention to it.
We've run for about 40 minutes by my watch, and we've gone through the life with a chronology. And I sort of tapped the people that I know worked very closely with Mike. Before we wrap up, is there anybody else who'd like to say a couple words? If not, we can. We're probably running out of videotape. Anyone else?
It's okay if you run out of tape.
Okay, go.
Elevators? Mike's greatest feat of re-engineering was the time he re-engineered the game of golf. Was anybody there? He was the featured Tuesday morning speaker at one of our resort events. And it must have been like on the West Coast. He had to fly in early. And he made the mistake of flying in so early that Ron Chrisman cajoled him into playing golf. Who was there? What?
Microphone.
Pardon?
Your hands on the microphone.
Oh, geez, that's what it is.
Do you remember where it was?
So Mike played golf. And it was apparently not his cup of tea. This is an unusual experience for him. And they were still doing the post-golf festivities and so on. He comes, he grabs my shoulder and pulls me away and says, Morison, tell me what's wrong with golf. And this is typical Mike. I mean, we went through the whole list. What are the faulty assumptions of the game of golf? What are the things that go wrong? The weather, the equipment's expensive, you buy funny clothes and colors not found in nature, you can't make any noise, the ball's too small, and it keeps getting lost. And so, actually, I think we had to find somebody to do a bit of artwork, and we got, because this was the days of Ugraphs, so that he'd have his first slide the next day. And he started his presentation on business re-engineering with the most memorable re-engineering lesson I've ever seen. He stood up there and he reversed all the assumptions of the game of golf. He wound up with a vastly superior game, played indoors by people in their normal clothes. They can scream and holler and make noise. The ball is big, it's cheap to do, and most importantly, the ball comes back to you. Re-engineered golf in the exact specification of bowling. That was so typically Mike because, on the one hand, it was very quick, very clever. It took 10 minutes to make the list, and he'd have it all prepared in his head. But, that was the thing people remembered most from that meeting. And they took away the exact same lesson, which is that you can reverse the assumptions of anything. And so, don't be timid. Ron Chrisman was not too happy because, you know. All right, thank you.